Okay, so I've got my hinge system welded on to the backhoe here. Hinges there and hinges here. I've got to put my other pad back on here yet. Got my oh, it's kind of stuck in here. There we go. Each piece is done, all painted up. So yeah, these slide in there. Put my other pad back on here and put my pin in. On the other side, I got my piece attached here already. Just got the hinge stuck in here, hinge. And I'm measuring the angle that I have to cut this side now. And I'm going to cut both sides. So we'll cut it there. And then once I got that cut, I'll cycle it and see where my final cut is going to be on this side. I was already looking at a little bit of cutting here, and it's looking like I'm going to have to take off about 7 inches to line up with the bottom pin over here. It'd be my maximum length, so I don't need all this extra length. It's just as long as it makes it to the bottom pin, I'm good to go. So that's working out to about 7 inches, but I'll get this cut first and then take another measurement with it fully all the way down, see where it lands up at. Okay, so I got my pieces cut on the one side. I cut them both same, so I got this one put back on here. So now the next step is to start the tractor up, cycle it up and down to find my cutoff length here and my angle that I need to be at the bottom so I don't interfere with my pad. So I'll do that next. Okay, I've got it lifted as high as it goes on both sides. And I've got good clearance here, just what I want. So that's good angle there. Got clearance in behind here. Everything's good to go. So I remeasured this now, and I have to go, rather than 7 inches, it's going to be too much. It's actually only going to be 4.5 inches off. So that'll be my first thing, is I'll cut my 4.5 inches off all the way around. And then after that, I'm going to have to cut off on an angle this way so that it doesn't interfere with the pad here. So I'll do that next. Okay, I thought I'd just show you how I set up my square to get my square cut. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the sides and cut across the top first. Now this is my 4.5 inches from the end, right at that white mark there. And I set my square up. I got it clamped here with a C-clamp. And I put a piece of wood in here to get my straight edge across here. That way I know that I'm square. And the reason I did that is because I need to have a gap in here when I first start my plasma cutter. For my guide, I don't want to cut into my square, so I want to be able to start cutting, and I have to be over this amount on my straight edge to get my cut. So I'll cut along here, and then I'll flip it on each side and cut the sides on each side. Again, using the same method to square it up, and that's how I do it. Okay, I wasn't ready there. There we go. Okay, I got my second piece cut here, and I just got to set it back in place. This slides on here. I just stick the bolt in the top for now. Okay, so I've got my final length here now. It's right at the edge of my support. Now, next thing I need to do is this thing on a sec. Okay, yeah, it's right at the end of my support here. So the next thing I got to do now is just cycle the arm up and down and figure out my angle that I have to just cut here a bit so it doesn't interfere with the foot. That the foot was always, because this will always ride on the top of here. So I'll go do that next. Okay, I've worked out my angle and I've just finished making my second cut. I use this now as a template to cut the other side over here. So, and I'll just fit this on here, check it out, make sure it's all working good. And lots of clearance if there is. It's just a matter of sanding it up and painting it and I'm good to go. Okay, I've got it on here now. It's resting on my little pieces up here, so that's good. Lots of room for my foot. I'll just cycle it up and down a bit, make sure it's all the way down. That's all the way up. It still has room here. It's all good. Lifts all the way up. You can see it slides on the inside in this piece here. So it'll just slide across here, eventually clean all this rust off from here. I've got good clearance in here on both sides and clearance on my hoses up there. And at any given time, this cylinder is underneath the metal. It's totally protected, which is what the goal was. So just a matter of cleaning it up, painting it, and awesome. Total protection, no worries about the cylinder no more. There you go. Lots of room here. It's all the way extended and the cylinder is totally protected. Okay, there's the finished product. Got some pretty good protection on the cylinders now on the OutRiggers. Got it all sanded up, painted, bolted together. They just sit on top and that plate that I made slides back and forth in the groove. And in transport, they don't really stick out any further than the original OutRiggers. Should have done that right off the bat.